You're listening to the Coach Hodge and Banks Show on the Coaching Culture in Athletics Radio Broadcast Network. Sit back and enjoy the show. The views and opinions discussed in this podcast aren't necessarily the opinion of the host or Coach Hodge and Banks Show on the Coaching and Culture Athletics Network.
All right, everybody. I want to welcome everybody to another Coach's Corner on the CCA Broadcast Network. And if you notice, every time in the intro it says the Coach Hodge and Banks Show, and Hodges has only been in 2 shows. So I think I'm going to have to change that, Coach, unless you get on here. We are currently waiting on Sleeping Beauty, Coach Kozlerich. He's having some I don't know. He's probably got a Dell for all we know, but he's having that issue, and he'll be joining us here before long. But anyway, tonight we have a special treat, and the last time that we were all together, guys, we went up over almost 2,000 views. So we appreciate everybody out there. We appreciate you sharing, and get used to us because you're going to see our smiling, bubbly personalities and faces each. As much as we can. We'll just put it that way. Got Coach Swanson up in the, and we call him Swanee River, by the way, in the upper right. And you know what? He's a Denver Broncos fan, so don't laugh at him too loud. Then we have bottom left, Tyler Bryant. Okay, Tyler just completed his first varsity football coaching position. And then you got the Coach Doherty, okay, the Fort Madison Bloodhounds down the lower right. And you know what, Coach, you were that close to that winning season, that culmination. But you know what? You got to be proud of that, of that group. And then also Coach Swanson, Coach Bryant, proud of 2 wins at the end of the year. The sky's the limit for those programs as long as, you keep building the culture. Now, I don't care who talks first. You guys can talk over each other and fight over, everything. But I'm telling you what, as soon as Coach Kozrich gets here, we're going to razz him for being late. But anyway, Coach Doherty, we'll start with you. Man, you know what? Ended 4-5, and you know what? Those kids showed a lot of grit, especially against Washington. And I watched that game. You guys were in that game.
Yeah, absolutely. Proud of our guys. They made a lot of progress from last year, and kind of where we were at last year as a program with our head coach leaving and not really sure what was going to go on. And I obviously threw my name in there to become the head coach, and so we're progressing, and we're happy with that.
It's good. Now, Coach Bryant, what was it like, being a part of that?
Well, at times frustrating, but the kids grinded through a 0-win season until the last 2 weeks when they finally understood that they could compete with people, especially some of these better teams, and we popped out 2 wins, which was nice. We ended that very long streak that I hopefully never experience again. That'd be nice.
Well,
it was nice to see them get those 2 wins.
Absolutely, Coach Swanson. What was it like? It was your first real dibs into varsity football.
It was exciting. We had a bunch of great kids who really quit, which was always nice. When you start off the season 0-7. It's pretty easy to say, yeah, let's just pack it in. Basketball's coming up, or a break's coming up before track or whatever. But our kids didn't quit. They fought through. The second to last game against Eddyville, it could have gone either way, but we just made some plays. And then against Davis County, we came out a little lax, but we turned it on in the second half. And so it really sets the program in a good direction for the start of next season, which is the best way you could end a season is making sure you're ready to go for the next one.
Absolutely. Now, there's Sleeping Beauty in the lower left-hand corner. And if you see him, he may blind you a little bit, starting to look like the older Kozeriches, in my opinion. But, Michael, man, hats off. You played a team, man, that I really thought, you shouldn't have had to play first round. And you played them tough, and you were in it.
Yeah, we traveled to Dyke, and obviously, Dyke's rated number 1 in the state. They got the 4 seed. And, our guys battled their tails off. We had a great game plan going into it. Felt really good about it. And just wound up on the wrong side of the sticks, and we were stopped 3 times inside their 20. They scored on a 4th and 15, a 3rd and 10, and then a 3rd and 28. So those were their 3 scores, So you sit there and you go, man, we should have had that one. And when you say that about the number 1 team, you got to feel proud about what you at least did, and accomplished and everything. But we closed our season out, losing to number 1 and number 2 in the state, and that's it, So being 8-2, and those are only 2 losses, you feel really good.
Yeah, and whoops, I don't know what that is. Okay, I don't know whether there's a ghost in my basement or what the heck happened. Anyway, we'll just leave it at that and move on. Maybe it's the sign behind me, right, Coach Doherty? I don't know. That where I hid. But anyway, Michael, nothing to be ashamed of, brother. I mean, this was an amazing season, and you know what? You got a lot to be proud of, and you got you have a lot of kids coming back.
Yeah, we started in a playoff game, 0 seniors on our offense, or 1 senior on our defense, and then 2 seniors on our offense, and besides that, we got everybody else coming back, so we're really excited about that. Just a lot of experience coming in. We had to fill 7 spots on the defense coming into this year. We had to fill 6 spots on the offense, and then some guys have shaken some starting roles up, so we're really excited about where we stepped up this year. Yeah.
Now, Coach Doherty, you that's weird. I don't know what the heck's going on. Coach Doherty, you got some good young kids coming in. The 7th and 8th grade group that's coming through. They're almost scary good. You want to talk about the future for Fort Madison Bloodhound football?
Yeah. Well, first we lose 15 seniors, and really proud of those guys, paving the way of what Fort Madison football is now. And so we're going to really miss those guys, but like you said, we do have a couple good groups coming in. But our main focus is development. We've got to continue to develop those guys and not have to play them right away. I think that's kind of been one of our biggest thorns in our side is we have these guys that come in and they're really good 15-year-olds, but when you put a 15-year-old up against an 18-year-old, major difference. And so we sat down, we said that we're willing to take it on the chin for a little bit in order to allow our guys to develop and make this a program.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Now, Coach Bryant, there's some good kids coming up in the Central League program, some great athletes, and you and I had an opportunity to coach several of them in baseball, and I'm hoping that more of those kids, will go out for football, and kind of bring back some Central League clout that we haven't had in the last couple of years. What do you see coming up?
Yeah, you're totally right. This 8th grade class is very competitive, very athletic, and they're just a good group of kids. So hopefully they continue to stay out because Central League has been notorious for having a lot of decent athletes in the middle school not play in the high school. So we're hopefully not going to have that situation with these 8th graders. But yeah, very talented. Maybe, hopefully they get a growth spurt every now and then, but they're fast. They are wanting to get better. They're very competitive. They want to hit that weight room. So hopefully our PE situation can help out with getting these middle schoolers into the weight room a little bit more.
Excellent. Now, I'm gonna throw a can of worms here before we get into our pick'em segment here for the second round. You ready for this? Okay, you ready? Okay. What's we want our kids playing in multiple sports. Period. That's what it's all about. And in the state of Iowa, even all through the 4A's, whatever. Now, wrestling or basketball. Now I know Doherty is going to smile and he's going to grin, but I'm going to say wrestling or basketball for the development of fundamentals regarding football. And Swanee is just freaking cooking right now. I'm going to make I'm going to make Swanson go last here.
I'm with that. That's fine.
Michael?
Yeah, you want me to start off? I'm a basketball player, but I've been around wrestling programs, and I think wrestling programs just they build toughness, and that's kind of what we preach in the weight room, is being tough and understanding, what it takes to be really successful. So I'd have to lean towards wrestling, but the way I kind of look at it is we tell our guys, if you're not a good basketball player, you should wrestle. you don't have to be talented to wrestle. You just have to be able to work hard. Basketball takes a little bit of skill.
Yeah. Tyler.
Yeah, I was also a basketball player. I love basketball, but in terms of football, I absolutely think that wrestling is the better sport for it because you can't have a good tackler who is not a wrestler. It seems like they always are the better tacklers in football. They're more mentally focused and stronger, and it's just because of all the grind that they have to go through. Some of these things that these wrestlers are going through is insane.
Now, I would love to have that thing that, where Doherty and Swanson's head went, but unfortunately I don't have that. Coach Doherty, I don't even have to ask, but go ahead and give us your insight.
I mean, I'm obviously biased towards wrestling, being a wrestling coach, but I guess my answer is either of them, but it's got to be one, in my opinion. And that's what we're really pushing our guys to do. And there's a lot of great things that come from basketball. And if you're looking at a wide receiver, depending on the system that you run, we want, tall, fast guys that can go up and get the ball like a rebound. So there's a lot of pluses to basketball. But I agree with the mental toughness aspect of wrestling and just the mental fortitude of it. So, but either of them, either of them's great and they need to be doing it.
Man, I was hoping we would have a little bit. No, never mind. Coach Swanson.
Yeah, I agree. As long as they're competing in something, that's what matters. As long as they're competing, I don't care what format it is. I'm partial to basketball, but I know that a lot of great football players were wrestlers because of the ability has that mindset you have to be a wrestler. That it's you versus everyone else. All the things you have to do. But you also see a lot of great NFL tight ends that were basketball players. Antonio Gates, it doesn't matter. They can obtain skills playing either one of those sports. So as long as they're just doing something and not just tournament for 4 months, the longest seasons of the school year, then it doesn't matter. And I think that's one of the bigger issues anymore is we have these kids that are skipping out on stuff like this and not playing one or the other. And it's hurting them because they're not competing for 3-4 months of the year. And you can't just flip on a switch that makes you competitive. You have to do it consistently to be the best competitor you can be.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to say that that I kind of agree with that philosophy that they should be doing one or the other. But I will say this as a former wrestler. But I have coached basketball for many more years than I wrestled. That makes me pretty old because I think I wrestled about 10 years, whatever it was. Anyway, as far as wrestling, it takes a special individual to wrestle. And when I have a student athlete come up to me, even though I am a basketball coach, and they ask me, a couple of things about, wrestling, or, I had a kid, his name was Martin Vineyard, and Martin asked me, he says, Coach, what can make me a better football player? And I said, Marty, instead of a job, you need to wrestle. And you know what? Martin Vineyard turned out to be one of our better varsity defensive linemen his senior year because of it. So, but then again, if you have a kid that's 7'2", you're probably not going to tell him to wrestle, right?
I look at one of our best hitters on the football team on the defense was a wrestler. He wasn't one of our physical guys. He was a wrestler, and that was pretty obvious just from the get-go.
Yeah. Now you, all of you guys got really small here. Okay. You got extremely small. Now, Coach Kosrich, let's see, what happened to everything? Okay, it went too far. I'm old and I'm trying to run this thing. Coach Kosrich, I am going to tell you that from here on out, not counting last week because you destroyed my picks, but anyway, it's going to be here on out. The winner, okay, through the end, okay, the state playoffs, the winner will get bragging rights and get this trophy, okay, for 1 year's time. And every time that we have a coach's corner, you can rub it in the other coach's face. You all down?
Fair enough.
Yep.
Okay.
I apologize right now.
Okay. So Tyler Bryant, do you have pen and paper where you can keep track?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to let you keep track since you're the youngest. I just figure you write faster than any of us. Okay. Since Michael was the winner last week, I'm going to let him make first pick here. Okay. So our first bracket is the 4A state playoffs, second round. We got Valley, West Des Moines, and Waukee. Okay, Michael, who you got?
Valley. Yeah. Again, it's a rematch, I believe, of earlier in this season. Valley's got the win.
Okay.
Do you want me to do all four, or are you just going game by game?
We'll go game by game. That way we can razz each other, and we'll give Tyler Bryant a little chance to catch his wind, right? Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Okay, so Coach Doherty, who you got?
I got to go Valley as well.
Okay. Coach Swanson?
Valley.
Okay, well, I'm going to go Valley as well, but Coach Bryant, who you got?
I'm going to keep the sweep and go Valley.
Holy cow, man! There's no one's pulling any arms there. Okay, no punches there. So just below there, we have I think made one of the biggest upsets in all classes. Okay, we have an Urbandale team that upset one of the better teams that I've ever seen at the 4A level, and they're gonna play a pretty solid Cedar Rapids Kennedy squad. Okay. Let's start with Coach Bryant. Who do you have there? And then we'll go Coach Doherty, Kosrich, and myself.
I got Kennedy.
Kennedy, okay.
Yeah, I'm going Kennedy as well.
Kennedy
big.
Okay, not so fast, my friends. I'm taking Urbandale by a touchdown. It's the Lee Corso upset alert, folks. And this is why I'm going to lose my trophy, probably. Okay, so let's go over on the other side of the bracket. Now we have Cedar Falls that I feel that's always put away from the other side of the state so they can make the state finals. I'm just throwing that out there. And they're going to play a pretty decent Bettendorf squad. Who you got? Let's go Doherty, Swanson, Bryant, Kosrich, myself.
Cedar Falls.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go Cedar Falls.
Man, that's who I was going to go with. But you know what? I'm going to be different. I'm going to pick Bettendorf. These teams met up earlier this year. I think Cedar Falls beat them by like 3. So I think Bettendorf gets revenge.
Okay.
I'm also going with Bettendorf.
I'm going with Bettendorf. All right. Yeah, well, it's that was a pretty tough ball game, there. Okay, so Dowling Catholic versus Ankeny. I'm going to pick first, and we'll go straight down. I have Dowling Catholic probably 38-12.
Yeah, Dowling winning the whole thing, so I'm definitely going to say Dowling.
I'll go upset. I'll go Ankeny.
Woo!
I got Dowling as well.
Well, Coach Doherty, they beat a pretty salty Southeast Polk squad that was pretty good at the end of the year. So you might get one back there. All right, so we're going to roll into 3A, and I know a little bit about these guys, as does. Whoa, why is it so big? Let me shorten it down. Stop it. Okay, Solon versus Pella. Who do you got?
Oh, I'm going to stick with Solon.
Okay.
I've got to go.
Going Solon. Okay. This one's tough. Coach Brian, who you got?
I'm a Central College alumni, so I got to go for Pella.
Ooh. Kosrich he's sweating. I can see the sweat beating on his head, so I will pick first. I'm going to take Pella. Uh-oh. I think okay, he's back.
Did you get my pick?
No, we didn't.
Everybody went black, man. Solon.
Okay, all right. Solon. No, you're good. I didn't know what was going on there for a minute. Okay, Sergeant Bluff Lutton versus Norwalk. Let's go bottom up this time.
All right, I'm going Norwalk.
Norwalk.
I've got a former athlete, student teaching at Norwalk, so I'm going Norwalk.
I'd be different and pick Norwalk this time, but apparently everyone else is. But stick with Norwalk.
Okay. Boy, I see what they did to Glenwood. I'm gonna have to go Norwalk as well. It's just too good a team right now. All right, so the other side should be a little easier, right? Not really, but we have Epworth, Western Dubuque versus North Scott.
We're going to go North Scott.
Western Dubuque.
Western Dubuque.
I got North Scott.
Okay.
Western Dubuque as well.
All right. Now this one's an interesting game. I really thought Dallas Center Grimes would lose, and that Harlan would be in this situation. This was one of those games that Coach Kazarich beat me on last week.
I told you, Scott Highland, man.
Yeah, I know.
He's rolling.
This one's interesting. Who do you got?
Lewis Central.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Scott.
Nothing personal. It's football.
Right.
I'll go Lewis Central as well.
Yeah, Lewis Central.
Lewis Central.
Yep, Lewis Central.
Cheater. You just piggybacked this, Bryant. So you know what? You're picking first this time. Okay, class 2A. Walk On versus West Liberty. Can I go first here instead of you though?
Sure.
I've got Walk On walking all the way to the finals. So I'm gonna go Walk On.
That's who I got.
I'm not going to disagree.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take the whole thing.
That was easy. Now's where it becomes a little bit less easy. You know, we got a 10-0 Algona squad going against a 9-1 very good Greene County team. I'm going to take Greene County.
Ooh, I'm going to go to Algona.
Algona for me.
All right. Well, I hope Greene County wins and puts me over the top, gents. All right. So Clear Lake versus Williamsburg. You know what? Coach Ritchie had those boys playing last week.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I did, and that's why I'm taking Williamsburg in this matchup. Upset, baby.
Wow.
I got Williamsburg too.
Pretty quiet in the peanut gallery. I'm going Clear Lake.
Clear Lake for me as well.
Yeah, I'm going Clear Lake, at least by 2 scores.
All right. So, you know, this one's intriguing. I think I won this one over you this week, Coach Kazarich. I think you picked Benton.
I probably did.
So that was one of the only games that I beat you on. So I have to rub that in. So you got a PCM squad that is they've been solid year in year out versus OABC whatever it is.
IG.
Okay, I'm gonna take OABCIG, and I'm gonna take them by 3 scores, beating PCM.
I'll second that.
I'm going to go PCM on his name. About the rest of the alphabet. Yeah, come on.
We see PCM in a wrestling tournament, and those dudes are tough. I'm going PCM.
I gotta go with the CIA here.
Okay, the OAPCA. Okay, and Coach Kazarich, can you tell me all the schools' names on that one?
No, not
Okay,
even close.
all right. But they beat a really good Greene County squad at the end of the year, right?
Yeah, and their quarterback's a junior, and he's actually, I think, cousins or the nephew of my principal at Panorama.
Okay.
And the kid's a baller.
Man. All right, so we go into 1A land, and I know that this one we didn't pick last week, but we will this week. I'm going to guess that probably Coach Kazarich could fill this entire bracket out 100%, guys. So we're going to have to be careful, and we're going to have him pick last every time. Okay. Van Meter versus Pella Christian. I have Van Meter big.
Well, they already won.
Wait. Okay. What am I doing? Okay, so yeah, now I sound like Harry Carey. I sound like a bumbling idiot. So Van Meter versus South Central Calhoun. I got Van Meter again.
Van Meter's just consistently good at everything, it seems like. So I'm going there.
I am too.
Yep. Van Meter.
Be careful on that one. Ian Abrahamson, Van Meter starting running backs, out for the season.
Oh!
Week 9. So he was out against Pella Christian and everything. He's been a 3-year starter. I wouldn't be surprised if South Central Calhoun wins that one, but I'm going Van Meter as well, though.
All right. So Dyke New Hartford versus West. Is it Lyon?
Westlawn.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to take Dyke New Hartford.
Yeah, I'm going to take Finney's cousin plays for that team. So, yep, I'm going to pick Dyke.
Coach Bryant.
Yeah, I'm going to go DN as well.
Okay.
I'm going Dyke as well.
Panorama. No.
Yeah. Hey. You know what? Dang it. That one.
I'm going Dyke. No, I'm going Dyke.
Yeah,
They're
it's
a good team. I think they're gonna be fine.
yeah. All right. So West Branch, Iowa City, Regina. I got West Branch destroying Iowa City, Regina.
Yeah, I think West Branch is going to win. I'm going to take West Branch.
Man,
I'm going to go with Regina.
I'm going West Branch.
all right.
I would go, West Branch again, but I think it's going to be close. I don't think either one of these teams is all they're cracked out to be.
Okay.
Northland got third in their district, and West Branch, got by them, but it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, I mean just 3 scores basically. West Sioux versus Trainer. I know nothing about any of those teams. You know what? I'm going to go Trainer.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Trainer too. Who knows? Maybe an upset will be nice.
I'm going to go with Trainer just because I haven't heard of West Sioux.
Michael's thinking here.
I've got a athlete at West Sioux, so I'm going West Sioux.
Okay.
It's going to be a blowout. 35 points. West Sioux starters are out at halftime.
Holy cow!
Ooh.
Whoa!
Really making me think. Yeah, my God.
Yeah. So there's the game.
The Defending state champs 1A last year. Defending state Class A champs the year before
Yeah.
Decker's kid playing quarterback going to Iowa State.
I see. I wish I would have known some of that. It's so.
That makes him go last.
Yeah. Well, it is what it
I
is.
wouldn't give you that information till the end.
Okay. So we got the Class A, and this is interesting. You got a West Hancock versus South O'Brien. Who do you got?
West Hancock.
I got West Hancock.
Same.
Yeah, I'll go West Hancock.
West Hancock. Okay. Let's see. We got North Tama versus Woodbury Central. I'm going to take Woodbury Central.
North Tama.
North Tama.
North Tama.
I'm going Woodbury Central too. I'm not impressed with North Tama's win over Central Decatur. I mean, I know they're good and tough, but holy cow!
No, I mean, they're not that good. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. As I kind of figured that would have been a bigger blowout. Now, I love this name MFL Marmac, and they're playing Grundy Center. And since I like MFL Marmac and they are the number 2 seed, I'm going to take MFL Marmac.
I'm gonna go with Grundy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Grundy.
I'll go Marmac.
I'm going to go Marmac as well. Grundy Center's 1 losses in North Tama, and I don't see either one of them getting through here.
All right. So So here's kind of the diamond in the rough, and I can never pronunciate it. So Michael, you have to pronunciate it.
I don't know if I do it right either.
Saint Ansgar.
St. Ansgar.
Saint Ansgar. Okay.
Yep. One of Central's linebackers went there.
Okay, and they're playing Earlham. You know, with that game against Earlham, I'm going to take Earlham in this ball game, an upset.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with St. Ansgar.
I'll explain why I want Earlham later, but I'll pick Earlham.
I'm going to go St. Ansgar as well.
Okay.
I think these two are both really tough teams, though.
Yeah, this game, it could come down to the wire. So why did you choose Earlham there, Coach Bryant?
They have the number 1 running back in the state.
Oh. Now,
because that's all they do.
Yeah. One of the more interesting things, to pick is this 8-player football. Audubon versus Caminita.
I think this is a rematch, isn't it?
Yes.
And I think Audubon won at Cam by like a touchdown or something like that.
Yeah, it was close. So this one's tough. I'm gonna go Cam Anita.
I'm gonna stick with Audubon.
I'm gonna go with Audubon.
Me too.
I'll go Cam with you.
All right. So that one's interesting. St. Mary's Remsen versus Fremont Mills. I think that St. Mary's Remsen's probably your state champion if Don Bosco can lose in the next 2 rounds. I'm gonna go St. Mary's big in this one.
Yeah, I think St. Mary's is going to beat them pretty handily.
Yeah, St. Mary's.
St. Mary's.
All right, that one was easy. So Turkey Valley versus HLV Victor. Man, Turkey Valley hasn't really played anybody up in the northeastern part of the state, but I just don't know what to think here. I'm going to go Turkey Valley by a touchdown.
Yep, Turkey Valley.
I'm going to go HLV. Those are some farm boys up there.
They are.
Turkey Valley for me.
I'll go HLV. I know nothing about either.
That's what makes it so doggone fun, It's okay. Don Bosco versus Easton Valley. Easton Valley is the place where Andy Crozier was the superintendent. I know he talks to that coach frequently. However, the buck stops here. Don Bosco wins huge, maybe 40 points.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Don Bosco after seeing what they did to a young but still talented New London.
Yeah, can't go against those guys.
And they're a wrestling school.
Super tough.
Yeah.
Yep, Don Bosco.
All right. Okay, so we will pick the NFL games this week, guys, and one college game. So there's lots of games here. Yeah, Coach Brian, I apologize you're writing so much, but I appreciate it. I'll the check's in the mail, my friend.
All right, yeah, expect it.
Okay, so week 10, you got the Chargers at the Raiders. I have the Chargers.
Ooh, that's a tough one. If the Chargers plays like it did today, then I'm going to have to go with the Chargers.
The Raiders just beat my Lions, so I got to go with the Chargers.
You'd be lying if you hadn't, right?
Yeah. Lions, man, that's sad. That must be rough.
This one's a tough pick for those two.
I was just waiting. I was being patient. I'm going Chargers. I'm going
going to go with the bad guys then. I'm going with the Raiders.
Oh, he did it. Okay, so we got the Falcons Saints. That's easy. Saints.
Saints are going to roll.
Saints.
All right. So the Ravens, Bengals, Ravens.
Hands down, Ravens.
Ravens.
Ravens as well.
Boy, it's a lot.
It's a Bengals fans.
I
go Ravens.
I tell you what, this is much easier than picking 8-man football brackets. I'm just throwing that out there. So we got the Cardinals, Bucks. This is a tough one, but I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna go with Tampa Bay on this. I still think it's a little.
Oh, he like froze up there. It's all right.
I'll go with the Bucks too.
Cardinals on my end.
Cardinals. Kingsbury. Air Raid.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Okay, so we got Dolphins, Colts. Should I even ask? Colts.
Colts easy.
That's pretty easy.
You know, Miami's feeling coming off of a think, and it depends on how his quarterback is. So I think Colts win, but by.
Okay. Everyone's got Colts?
Yep.
All right. So Rams, Steelers. I'm going to take the Steelers.
Yeah, they won 3 in a row. I'm going to take the Steelers in this until the Rams figure out what's going on.
I'll go with the Steelers.
I'm going with Steelers. It's in Pittsburgh, I believe, right? Is that what the
Yeah.
bottom team's home team?
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Rams.
I knew he was going to do that. I could see it in his face. Okay. You know. Here's an interesting matchup: Seahawks, 49ers. I'm going to go Seahawks. It's even at San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm going with San Francisco. Their defense is good.
I got the 49ers too.
I'm going to take the Seahawks and making me nervous, so agreeing with Banks.
I'm going Niners.
All right, so now we go over here on the other side. Okay, so boy, this is an interesting matchup. Okay, the Giants Jets. You know what? The Jets lost to the worst team that I've ever seen in my entire NFL watching career. So I'm going to take the Giants.
Ooh, Jets, Jets. They're going to win.
I got the Giants.
Giants as well.
I'm going Jets.
All right. Okay,
Yeah.
Chiefs at the Titans. I'm going to take the Chiefs.
I'm going with the Titans in this one.
I'm also going Titans.
Chiefs, man. Mahomes looked good on the sideline today.
He did.
I'm going Chiefs as well.
All right. So Bills, Browns, Bills. Hands down, Bills.
Ooh, I think I'm going with Cleveland on this. They got to get a win at some point. This is one of their better times because the Bills aren't good. They just play really crappy teams.
They play New England twice a year, man.
They get their butt kicked twice a year.
Oh.
You're garbage.
I'm gonna hop on the wagon too. I got Browns.
Browns as well.
Browns.
Okay, so they're taking the Browns to the Super Bowl when I'm going to cut the cheese, and the Bills are going to win. So yes, I said that out loud. Okay, Lions and the Bears. The Bears look as bad as I've ever seen the Bears look, but I'm still going to take them to beat the Lions.
Both teams are off. I'm going to give it to Ness. I like him, so I'll give it to the Lions.
I got my Lions.
I'm going with the Bears.
Yeah, Bears.
All right, so Doherty, myself, and Kazarich are all like in this same bubble. So if the bubble bursts, we're either going to look like really smart guys or like I don't know. The Panthers and Packers. The Packers rebound and they win. Packers.
Oh yeah, I think they.
I got Packers.
Packers back on track.
Yeah.
I hate the Packers. I'll never, ever. Panthers.
Okay, so I'm going to make Doherty pick this one last because we know who he's going to pick. We got the Vikings-Cowboys in a very interesting matchup. I think both teams are pretty evenly matched, but I think it's at Dallas, and Dallas is in must-win territory. I got Dallas.
I'm going Vikings. I think it's finally going to be the team with a winning record because it's been far too long.
I got the boys.
Yeah, Cowboys.
We them boys.
We damn boys. Okay, so I'm bringing all five of them back because here's our final pick, and we have to give a final score. The final pick will be the LSU Tigers versus the Alabama Crimson Tide, and it's going to take place this next week. I love all the hype leading up to this game. You want to talk about talent versus Darth Vader, though. You know what I'm saying? The Emperor and the Darth Vader in the Crimson Tide territory. I'm going to take Alabama this week.
Ooh, that's a tough one. But I think the over under on this was 46 points. I think the previous 3 games combined they've scored a total of 6. Alabama is favored by Vegas. But I got you. I don't know how Tua's ankle is going to be. I know he's had 2 weeks off, but Burrow throwing the ball, and I don't trust Tua's ankle. And I think Alabama misses the playoffs because it's LSU.
Okay, so I didn't get my final score there, Tyler. I'm going to go 17-14, Alabama.
I'm 35-24, LSU.
I'm also picking LSU. I like Burrows. He's a stud. But I'm going to go... Let's go... 42...
Ooh.
28. 42-28. Big
Yeah,
one.
blowout of
Yes,
the tie.
sir.
I like it.
Yes, sir.
I think 28-24, Alabama rolls.
Yeah, I'm going Roll Tide 24-21.
Whoo! So you know what's fun is we get a chance to look at these scores, next week, and then we get to do it all over again. I think that's what's exciting. You are you guys down with doing our coaches corner next Sunday night, 8 p.m.?
Should work.
All right, so I want to finish tonight with some words of encouragement. Whatever you want to say, let's shoot it out there because we're building a positive culture in our entire community, not just athletics, but in the entire community. And gentlemen, I do want to say that I see so many great things that you're doing. I'm your biggest fans. And seeing the things that we're doing with whether it's the flags, whether it's changing the tone, this, that, and the other, and I'm very proud to associate with all of you. So, I guess my last word this week is, always stay true to who you are. Don't budge with your convictions, and you know what I mean. Be humble, because it's not always going to be pretty, but if you're humble, you can get through just about anything. I don't care who goes next. It's whoever wants to. Everybody's quiet. Okay, so.
I spoke for all of us. I mean, you said all the right. I'll echo what you said. Work hard, be humble, and it'll take you a lot of places.
I guess my message is stay the course. I mean, I think that we're seeing it with people building programs. We're seeing it, Coach Arrett and coaches over at Central Lee. Stay the course.
Coach Bryant.
I just say never be complacent.
I like that.
Whether you had a good season, bad season, don't be good with where you're at right now. Always look to be better in every aspect, whether it's school, faith, or sports, whatever it is.
Coach K.
Yep. Rome wasn't built in a day, so keep chopping wood, and keep at it, and just try to get better than you were yesterday.
The good news is